So, I think the thing I want to talk about today is the the idea that um, it's not about what you may ask for one thing, you might ask for something to happen in your life, whether that be like a job, something that you want, something, right? Something with outside of you, it seems like. Um, but I think the main message I want to get at is that oh, let's start there. There's something that you want, right? And I'll give an example of something that recently happened with me, and that would be last year towards the end. This kind of crazy thing happened. Um, it was in December that I was on my phone. I was looking on Twitter, and I saw this message, um, not a message, this tweet, right? And it was from a film update page, and it said that Ocean Vuong's book on I was gonna say bruv on Earth for Briefly Gorgeous is now entered the casting stage. And when I saw it, I was like, interesting. I want to see what um, Ocean says about this, right? Um, and the reason why there's some backstory to this. In October, my friend Anna, she let me borrow her book, the same book that's being casted, and I think I read around five or something pages, and I put it down. Like even the first page was pretty heavy. It's like it was about like the deer's head being mounted on the wall, and the phrase was like, they won't let the dead die, or like, yeah, they won't let the dead rest, or something like that. And that was pretty intense already to me. And so I put the book down. I told Anna, you're not gonna get this back for a while. Is that okay? And and so it's just been sitting on my like nightstand since then. And it was until I saw that's a film update tweet that I went to look at Ocean's Instagram to see what he said. And I came across a casting call. That was like, I think that was the only thing that was on his Instagram related to the movie. And so I was like, interesting. Let me see. I just opened it to look at it, and um, I read it, and I'm like, this sounds like me, right? And um, I, uh, I just like I looked into it. So I went to his booking link, and opened the Google form where they're accepting like tapes and stuff. And it wasn't a tape actually; it was actually an interview you had to submit. And the interview had three questions. Um, it had what did it have? It why can I remember? It had the first question was, um, what what is love? Um, what would you describe it as? And then the second question was, what was your last most memorable dream? And it's kind of crazy because the first question had, in parentheses, it said whatever you feel comfortable sharing, and that was kind of crazy to me because I find I thought I would have thought they would have had the same kind of like um, disclosure or whatever on the second question, because our dreams are so personal. Like that's where our subconscious mind goes, like does its work, right, to process everything that we experience during the day that we're repressed and stuff. And so I found that was actually a pretty difficult question to answer. And then the third question was the hardest thing you had to learn in life. And I've been journaling about that. Like at that time, I was journaling about those things in my journal, and so I was like, this would be a good exercise. Like, I want to be better at speaking, and so um, I will record myself answering these questions, and whether I submit them or not, it's whatever. But I felt connected to those questions, and I had an answer, and so I did it, and I saw that on a Friday, right, and I something within me, I said I would do it during the weekend, and and but some reason, like for some, like I just knew myself, like I called myself out, and I was like, no, just do it now. Like if you're gonna say that and you're just gonna forget it, and there's never gonna be a perfect time kind of thing, just like if you have, and this is what I've been asking for, right? So like this relates to what you asked for. um, um I asked for inspired action. I asked for something, right? Something to make me feel, to feel something, right? And I'll get into that more. But um, I I I just did it. I did it right there and then. Like I was like, no, no more waiting. Like you feel inspired to do something, go do it. Don't wait. And that's something that I think a lot of us face nowadays with just comparison and what is it called when you delay things, and decision paralysis, stuff like that, and procrastination. Yeah, um, it's it's really eating us whole and making us lose life and lose time and stuff like that, you know. And so I just decided to record it. I recorded it on my phone, and yeah, that was it. So the listing said record up to 7 minutes. Please try to keep under 7 minutes. It's okay if it goes longer. And that recording ended up to be 17 minutes, and it was rough. There was like I was like one of the other questions in there. I think it was like it was supposed to be separate, but it was just submitted in one. It was like in Viet, can you describe what your typical day looks like? And I am not very good at Viet. I do my Viet is not good. It's yeah, and so I would after every Viet word like xin chào, um, I would like raise my hands up to the camera and I would say like parentheses hello. Like I would do a English translation of the word that I just said or the phrase that I just said, and that went on for like hello, my name is. That's all I knew how to say. I don't know how to hold a conversation with it, so then I just tried throwing in English where I couldn't say, like, I didn't know how to say record, I didn't know how to say magazine and stuff like that. So it was a mess, and I was laughing through it all. But I don't know. I finished recording, and I was like, you know, let's submit it. I felt good about the answers, the first three answers, and I just decided to submit it, and so I submitted it, and I just let it go. You just have to let it go, right? Um, and that this whole letting go is another topic in itself, but you just have to let go, forget about it. And especially like I'm learning now when I was like searching up like Reddit and stuff like that of like what actors do when they submit. They say just you have to forget, and that's what I did. That was on like a Friday or something, right? And funny enough, the day before I saw this was a Friday that this all happened. Seeing the Twitter, the tweet, and then recording it, it was all on Friday, right? Um, it was actually Thursday, the day before, where I was at the gym, right? And at the gym, like I always see this guy, he's like just panting on the Stairmaster, and I'm like, what? Can't be that hard, like, yeah. And so, on the Thursday, I was like alone in the gym. I was just staring at the Stairmaster. I was so curious, like, can't be that hard. And I got on it. I lasted 2 minutes, and I got off. And I was like, I'm a good boy. I tried it once, and I'm good after that, right? But then Friday came along, and then on the same like Google form application link, it said the kind of the requirements of the role was, let's see, it was um, must be comfortable with nudity, full buttock shot. And ever since then, I've been back on the Stairmaster. So that was pretty funny. I think that was a nice cool like what do you say that word, serendipitous thing that happened. Um, but yeah, like after that, I just let it go, and like sometimes you try to attach, like for example, like going to the gym, taking the Stairmaster, you try to attach it with an outcome kind of thing, right? And you're like, I'm doing this for this, right? But never try to prepare yourself for a thing. It always has to relate back to the feeling of it all. Like, how does it make you feel? Like, are you doing it scared, trying to achieve this other thing? Like, is it for something else, but you're scared and you're like in this fearful, scarce mindset while you're doing it? Like, you have to really you have to be really in the mental state when you're doing things. So I was doing it. It was for that, but also it was for my happiness. Like um, you'll often find when you're trying to chase one thing, it's actually fulfilling. It's also like the things that you do try to fulfill this one thing. It also helps you feel this other thing within you. It helps validate this other thing, and that's how I feel with the staircase master. It was if it was for the role, I felt it was for my health as well, and that was something that I've been asking, and like it was really nice to have something separate, motivating kind of way, in like having that role as a motivator, but then um this like in the back of my mind, like that like just let go kind of thing. Like I wanted to have a like better lower body, and like develop muscle and stuff like that. And um life will give you what you want, what you ask for, but it might not look like, it might not seem directly correlated or look like that in the moment. And this is a very small example in this story. Um, and what happened afterwards, after I submitted it, I just let go, and I honestly felt, I felt very, very, very happy. I felt very content, and I felt like for once in my life, I felt seen. I felt like this role, this the circumstances, like everything that's happened in life, um, I felt grateful. I felt grateful for my life, and that it led me to this thing that felt very inspired, and it felt like, wow, like this book helped so many people, right? It validated the experiences of so many first gen, or I think it's second gen, yeah, second gen, um, um, Canadians, and people like immigrant children of immigrants, right? And and it was very healing doing that, right? And so you might not know what you're getting into, you might not know what it'll lead to, but you just have to do it. Like if you have that inspired, if you just feel just like the the drive to do it, or the curiosity to, like you have to fuck around and find out in life, and it will not, like sometimes it won't give you the answer you were looking for or something like that, but it will surprise you, and you have to be open, and you have to surrender to the moment, to what's in front of you, to what, so you have to let it in, you have to let the light in, right? Because there's always light around us. It's how we perceive things. And I felt right after recording that, I felt, wow, what an honor it is to be alive, what an honor it is to to experience everything that I experienced in life, and that it wasn't in vain. I feel like that's a common thing that we have a tough time remembering, is that everything happens for a reason. It truly does. All of our mistakes and everything, right? And um, control in this life looks, it's, we learn what control is, what control matters, and that is controlling our mind, and controlling to be free, having the control, having the mental resilience to surrender. That's control. That's what, that's healthy control. What healthy control looks like, right? Um, and so yeah, I submitted it, let it go. I think that was the Friday I submitted it, and the next week I got an email saying, just asking me to record the audition tape, right? And that was crazy. That was surreal to get that email, because I'm not an actor. I don't act. I don't whatever. I just submitted it because I felt connected to the role, and the story, and yeah, I I and life, like things line up, right? So and it was at the beginning of October that I went on a hike with some friends, and one of the friends I had I had a crush on, and it turned out they recorded self tapes, and so they helped me record self tape, and um, it was kind of crazy to ask your crush slash friend that, because it was a sensual self tape that I had to do, and we did it for 10 takes, and it's like life. You ask for something, you ask for some like spark, you ask for some like excitement or something like that, and he will give it to you, and you will be afraid. You'll be shitting your pants while you're doing this 10 takes over and over again, and they're an actor, so they're acting their ass off, while you are not an actor. You're just trying to shoot and get the tape over with. But like they're in scene, they're in character, and you're like, wait, are we acting or are we? Where is this? Yeah. So, um, life will you will ask for something you just have to forget it. You just have to trust that it happens, and it will happen. It will happen. So that was a fun thing. That was fun. It was horrifying in the moment, but it was fun to reflect afterwards. And I was like, wow, I did that in front of my crush. I did that with my crush. We did it 10 times. How many of you can say we did it 10 times? Right? And so, yeah, life, you will ask. You will ask, and life will provide. And it's not the way you'll expect, but you have to be open and um, receptive to it. And so I recorded the self tape, and then I submitted it, and I just had to let go again. And it's hard not to think about it. It's been over like a month since, yeah, it's been over a month, and I submitted, and I haven't heard anything back. So um, who knows? But like, especially like during times like these where you're like, I feel so connected to it, right? Why hasn't it happened, kind of thing, right? And it's a lot of um, you have to surrender to that as well, to the quietness, because that's when that's you in order to have something you have to be able to hold it, right? You can get something and lose it just as quick as you got it, but you have to know how to hold it, right? And that's something that right now what I'm learning in this process too, like even though I'm so like I'm thinking about it, right? I'm like, was is it will this happen or something like that? But um what I'm asking for is to I think the overall message of the story is that during this time, this whole story that happened, I asked the universe, like, what is it? What is my purpose in life, kind of thing? Like, what is my talents? What do I do? What do I share with the world, kind of thing? And this seemed like an opportunity to be beyond myself, right? To to be a part of something, and to be to be go beyond what I know, what everything, um and just surrender. And so with this it's kind of like this is what it's telling me and showing me now again, is that you in this quietness that I'm experiencing right now, is that you you these are when the thoughts that come up, the doubts and stuff like that come out, right? And you have to learn how like this is trying times. This is a test to see if you can hold what you have, because um like the thoughts right now could be really crazy. It can be like um it was dud, right? Like whatever and stuff like that. But you have to train your thoughts in your mind to not to catastrophize, and have hope. Hope is a dangerous thing for a woman like me to have. Del Rey said, and it's true. It's dangerous for anyone. That's why we've lost so much hope in the current like state of the world and everything. So hope, and another Lana Del Rey quote: "Happiness is a butterfly." I love that song. I love that lyric, because what it makes me think is happiness is a butterfly. A butterfly comes and goes. It'll pass by you, it'll float by you, right? And sometimes it'll tap you on the shoulder, it'll land on you, right? But what do you do with the butterfly? You don't cage it, you don't hold it. You you take that inspiration, that gentle tap, that makes you feel something, and you have this gratitude, like this is such a beautiful experience, beautiful feeling that I have, right? And you have to let it go. You don't have to, you just do. That's what humans do. You let it go, and you don't have this attachment. You don't cage it, you don't keep it, you let it go. You say thank you for this, and it flies away. And you don't you don't no, I don't think we do this, but we don't ask like, is this the last butterfly I'll ever see? Like, you have to remember that, like, this is how you should approach life. Like, when something passes you by, um sometimes it's just there for a moment, it just taps you, and it's just a reminder, and sometimes it steals something very hard. But in the moment, you have to feel it. You have to be open to it because you're missing out on something really beautiful. But it goes, right? And it goes, but you don't question that it's the last butterfly, right? That's the reality of it all. Like there's millions of other butterflies, and you'll experience this again. And so you have to treat life like this. You have to treat inspired action like this. Um, it comes. Happiness is a butterfly. It exists. There's so much exists around you. How do you tap into it? How do you make sure that when a butterfly comes, you just are in the moment? And that's what I'm learning from all this experience. And I hope that that gets that message across because um, life is happiness is a butterfly, and you have to learn how to hold that within you long after the butterfly is gone. And yeah, that's that's that. And um, yeah, I think you again you might get something that you wish for, that you might you know you might you will ask for something, right? But but my main message, I don't think I even said this, but you will ask for something, right? You ask for purpose for something or something like that. And what you get, you might what you think you'll get something, you'll get that. You all you can think about is getting that, right? But it's truly when you ask to get something, what you're really asking is being the person to hold it. What is that person that would be able to have that thing, to cherish that thing, to be someone who could have the privilege and the power, and to be that person to have that thing. That's what you're truly asking for when you ask for something, right? And so that's I hope you don't forget that. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey. Who do you become in this process of getting that thing, accomplishing something? um, that's that's grounding work. You have to be grounded in that aspect when you're trying to achieve your dreams and stuff like that. So don't forget that. Don't forget that. And yeah, stay awesome. Um, Remember to always lead with your heart. Um, to have trust that everything is unraveling the way it's meant to be for your greatest, for your, for your greatest, your higher self is looking out for you. And life is abundant, but it's only as abundant as you are, as you're willing to perceive, receive, and life's too short. Don't let fear overcome you, swallow you whole. You know, it's life is short. Life is short. So that's when we say that, that makes us feel grateful for what has happened so far, and hold that great gratefulness within you, because that's all we have. Our mind, our bodies are only given to us once, but our souls live well beyond that. And as much as we are living in this reality, this with our five senses, it's what we remember out of it, how we feel inside, that really matters when we're on our deathbed. It's this Tom Ford quote that I've seen that really resonates with me. It's like, it doesn't matter about the nice pair of shoes I have or the beautiful home I live in. What matters to me is, or on my deathbed, what I'll remember is that one time I was in my 20s, and I I I was having dinner with someone who I felt really connected to. I wish I could remember the exact quote, but he said um, having dinner with someone I felt absolutely connected to. I know we've all experienced that feeling, and I hope that you go every day, you wake up and you look forward to that, and you strive to have that kind of connection with someone, because life is short, and that's what we're here for. That's all we will remember on our deathbed, how much we loved, how much love we can hold and give, and that's the measure of a great and a life well lived.